Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I just want to make a little analysis of some mainstream media articles that I thought they were important, and I will start with the first one. It's from The Hill, and it's from today, March 1st, 2022, and it's titled "Mexico Won't Impose Sanctions on Russia," Lopez Obrador says. Well, our friends from the southern border are not our friends. What are we gonna do about this? Biden, what are we gonna do about this? Are we gonna close the border? Are we gonna sanction them? What are we gonna do? Nothing. Nothing. So it seems like Russia is not that isolated after all. Um, I'll go to the next one. This is just an observation. Uh, you would expect, Mexico to be like this with us and so on. And what if you find out Canada is going to support Putin? All right, next one from AX2 from Zachary Basu, March 1st, 2021. Operator of Nord Stream 2 files from bankruptcy and fires all employees. So good job, Germany and America. It's fine. We're going to stand up against Putin by giving workers the pink slip. Good. Well, it's just about 100 workers anyway, right? So who cares? I mean, there are little people. Not little people like, they're called nowadays, but little people like no value in here. Oh, look at this, guys. What happens in FX Empire by Arianan. No, a lot of N's and a lot of A's, like 4 A's here. And it's Aryaman Shrivastava. Must be Indian or something. February 28, 2022. Bitcoin demand explodes as Russian ruble collapses to less than $0.01. Bitcoin, you're gonna get it soon because these guys won't let you ditch the financial system. You need to be controlled and monitored and by the banks and by the nations. Well, good for them, I guess. That means that something is going on because see, I'm going to read another article later that relates to this one, and I'm going to talk about alternative systems that will develop on this planet. Besides SWIFT, the Chinese have their own, and they will try to merge, and there will be a parallel, which is going to be bipolar economical system, economy, bipolar global economy. Going to be two or three, and you're going to see who adheres to whom. So it's good. Competition is always good. I wish there were more than two. It's not you have like I don't know, Republicans and Democrats, which are, as I said, like identical twins, but one of them wears a mustache. There's a difference between Democrats and Republicans. All right, we have this article. I'm gonna just start saying this. Uh, when it says here, it's a professor, it's a military academy professor says in Yahoo Finance, March 1st, 2022, and I'm quoting: Putin is afraid of his own people. U.S. military academy professor says. Well, might be, but if we are judging by that, then why don't you guys just watch some movies, some documentaries where you see other criminals on this planet that walked through the crowds, face to face, crowds. And look how our current politicians are walking through crowds, surrounded. Look how they have their speeches with all those bulletproof glass, all of them. And they talk about this guy only. I'm not saying he's loved or not, but it's just this guy's analysis. He's afraid of his own people. And the claims that he makes in this little interview that it's here is just is his projection, is his wishful thinking. Is really he is like in Joseph Stalin's times. So in the Soviet Union's time, you had, for instance, Kaganovich, who was the chief of the secret police at one point. He used to tell Stalin when it was the purges and all those assassinations, political assassinations, and so on. He said, show me the person, and I'll show you the charge." So that means you show me a person, I'm going to find something about that guy. I will find something, or I will make something. It doesn't work. That's the way it works actually with this guy. So this guy has a paradigm in his head about how the world should be, on how he would like it to be, and if he sees an action, he, with his paradigm, he analyzes that in a way that he twists the action to reflect his paradigm. So let's say if I am they have here in America a very nice expression, very simple but very revealing. If all you have in your toolbox is a hammer, you find nails everywhere. So that means if you all you have the paradigm a hammer, you're gonna find nails to hit them, boom, 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 everywhere. So if you, let's say, you can find racism everywhere you want if you have that in your head, that you live around a racist everything society, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna give an example. So let's say I'm a person who wants to portray me right now that I'm a racist, and I wear this white shirt. He's gonna say, "See, based on his paradigm over there, he wears that because he supports whites. That's why. See, that's why." Now, let's say you got a black person wearing a white T-shirt. He could be interpreted in two ways. One, yes, he wears that so he shows that he's crushing the white oppressors that oppressed his ancestors and so on. Good job, whatever your name might be. Or he could be called an Uncle Tom, which is a derogatory term. We say, look at this black guy. He's wearing a white shirt. He can't wear a black shirt because he likes white people. Or if he buys a white car the same way. Oh my God, he drives a white car because he wants to be served by white, identity that oppresses people. That could be one interpretation of some idiots, and the other one could be the other way. Oh yeah, he's gonna be now. He's screwing that white car. You know what I mean? He's in charge now. He gives it back to the white people. Yeah, the white car is going to serve him. So you see, you don't even know what the hell that guy or what I think about this shirt. Why I picked this shirt? Why he picked the white car or the black car? Well, whatever. If I wear a black shirt, it's because I like to have black people serve me or something because of the color. So that's why I'm talking. So this military academy professor, so he has a PhD. He makes some assumptions and some connections that are not there, like the ones I just mentioned to you. And this is a guy who's pushed in front of us. He should be revered because he got a PhD. But he opens his mouth, he's just and his name is, by the way, Robert Pearson, U.S. Military Academy Associate Professor of International Relations. Whew! He's very, 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 very intelligent and very well read. Should be, right? Now we got this one. Uh, it's called the Purge. And it's bad when you purge people based on their political affiliations or preferences or verbal support or verbal preference. So if you will be in a communist Soviet system and you would say that you, let's say, admire Henry Ford, which was a capitalist, you would get in trouble because he was a bad guy. So you lose your job, you would be interviewed slash interrogated, you could go to gulag. It depends in what period of time that would have happened. I will give you an example, a personal example from my life. My grandfather was an engineer, and after the Second World War, so he was working at he was building airplanes for the Romanian Air Force. So he was the engineer. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this guy, after the war, the communists took over with the help of the Western countries who allowed that, the freedom-loving countries, and he was part of a group of about 4 or 5 engineers, Romanian engineers, who were gathered by the new leadership and say, okay, which one are the best here? So one of them was my grandfather. So they got this group of engineers and they asked. They had 2 examples of 2 tractors: the Russian, the Soviet tractor, and the Ford tractor. And they wanted to design a Romanian tractor, and they asked this engineers to look into the issue and assess the Soviet tractor for the fields, to plow the fields and so the crops and so on, and then the Ford made American US. So they gave these guys, and my grandfather was really too sincere and too technical. So when they were asked about the commission, what they found, and they were asked by what you found, what you found, what you found, my grandfather said, well, the Ford tractor is better than the Soviet one, and he provided the evidence for that. Not diplomatic at all, I would say, but he was sincere to his science, to his, to technical. It's not political. He said, what's best for Romania? This tractor is better, so we should build by that. I don't care if that's made by Donald Duck, but if it's better, I'm going to get a Donald Duck a tractor instead of, I don't know, Tom Jones. But he didn't get it because it was too honest, too sincere. So he got in trouble. The guy got in trouble with these guys. He was taken about 2 weeks, and nobody knew where he was taken to. Good job. So now we have here a direct experience from my family. And Market Watch, Associated Press, March 1st, 2022. Russian conductor Valery Gergiev ousted from Munich Philharmonic after support from Putin despite unprovoked Ukraine invasion. So he must have said it in the past that he admires that guy or whatever. He's as his president. So what do you expect? Is this conductor a criminal? Is he going to do something? No. It's just that he did not retract certain things. I'm going to read further what these guys did to him. Mayor Dieter Reiter said in a statement that Gergiev had failed to respond to a Monday deadline to distance himself from Russia's war in Ukraine. So he was probably asked, you got to denounce Russia and Russia's invasion. Otherwise, you lose your job. And the guy said, what the hell? I'm a conductor. I'm an engineer. I'm a conductor here. And they fired him because he did not say, I'm sorry. I say whatever you say. So, see, these kind of blackmails are everywhere. Blackmail is a blackmail. What does one have to do with the other one? That means if I have a preference, let's say I'm a homosexual, and there's a situation with some, I don't know, homosexual leader doing something wrong, and I don't want to think about examples because I can find examples. That means if I don't say that homosexuality is bad, I'm going to lose my job. Why? Because that guy is homosexual? What the hell has one to do with the other one, with my job? My personal beliefs and preferences do not interfere with my duties, my job duties. Well, all this is political. So I have to go over there, and then if he would have said yes, yeah, screw Russia, screw Putin, screw everything, if he didn't say anything, just because he didn't agree to shit on those people for whatever reason, he was fired. Not because he said something, just because he didn't say what he had to say. What this, I don't even know. I don't want to call them Gestapo or Nazis because what these guys are doing are even, you know. So he got fired for that. Unbelievable? No, it's not unbelievable. But I'm saying this so other people can hear what's going on with these guys. And that can happen to you, can happen to me. But we're not important. We're not that important. Once we become a little bit important, then everything comes towards us. And I have more here. It says that I had expected him to rethink and revise his very positive assessments of the Russian leader, said Reiter, who was the mayor of Munich. After this didn't occur, so he didn't jump how high he wanted him to jump, the only option is the immediate severance of the ties. That was the only option. So it's either you say something. Silence is violence. I learned here in America. So in this case, silence is endorsement of criminal Putin, or no other option, no other option whatsoever. We had to. Why did you have to? Because there were other people behind you, and you're gonna have to do something about it. Oh well, some more to this, because if they can do this to you, to me, everyone else. And this is an important person, not like us. I mean, we could be disposed of like this. So the director, conductor have already been dropped as conductor of the Verbier Festival, the Edinburgh International Festival, the Vienna Philharmonic 5 concert US tour, and other engagements in recent days. So it was a command, it was an order. Order, persona non grata, you're dead. If you don't say something, that's why when you hear these cuckoo heads on the TV saying, yeah, I did this, that I did this, and their personalities, how do you know it's not something like this behind? I assume sometimes might be. All right, next one. The same thing as this, how do you call it? Cleansing of the society of the undesirable different opinions or opposite opinions or preferences. We have from Insider, the purge. It is a purge. And they just got it's like the Reichstag fire or the Crystal Night, when a reason gave to certain people to do some criminal acts and purge a group of the society from the society. It's exactly what it is, political right here. The same happened in Romania after the communists took over, and in Soviet Union, and that's a mentality. And this is from Insider by Catherine Nealon, March 1st, 2022, and the title Bill Browder. Lords who worked with Oleg Deripaska and the Russian government should be thrown out of the parliament. So Bill Browder says lords who work with Oleg Deripaska and the Russian government should be thrown out of parliament. Well, okay, and it says here Lord Barker and Lord Peter Goldsmith should have peerages revoked, Bill Browder told Insider. The two men are on leaves of absence from Parliament carrying out work linked to Russia. Browder said it was a litmus test for whether the UK is seriously about opposing Russian influence. This is just blah, 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 blah. Okay? And I'm going to give you an example. Remember, what president, what family that became very influential in United States of America had dealings with Nazi Germany. 3, 2, 1. So let's go with Donald Duck family, Humpy Dumpy family, and Bush family. I give you a clue. Okay, Bush family. All right, Prescott Bush and whatever. Didn't they do business with the banks? Of Nazi Germany? He wasn't kicked anywhere. His family showed up. So what about this, Mr. Lord Browder? Anything about that? And there's just an example that just came to my head right now. I mean, if you want to think about another uh, royalty here in the United States, is the Kennedys. How did they make their money? In the Prohibition time, they were getting alcohol from Canada. That's how they did it. That's how they got their fortune. It's known. If I know it, you should know it. and they shot up. They became multimillionaires. What? I think the old Kennedy was what, ambassador to Great Britain, I think, in the Second World War, something like that. From bootlegging, from whatever, from selling alcohol illegally from Canada over the freaking waters, river, St. Lawrence River, and blah blah blah. Like Al Capone. Al Capone. Al Capone was arrested for tax evasion. Evasion. These guys became presidents. Please, I know too much for these guys. It's just and these are just easy stuff. Easy stuff. All right, now we find Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones, not a band. It's by Ryan Bort, March 1st, 2022. Putin stripped of honorary Taekwondo black belt. He was awarded, and this is the whole thing. Again, they start. So the international community has imposed a flurry of sanctions on Russia since the nation invaded, blah, 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 blah. And on Monday, stripping Vladimir Putin of his honorary black belt. And supposedly he had an honorary ninth black belt conferred blah, 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 in November 2013. Now all these honorary black belts, you know why they are issued and awarded? Because these weasels, in this case Taekwondo, because Putin got a lot of black belts from other ones. They did the same thing what the Taekwondo do, like right? The judo, again, they sanction him. Why do they offer them the president this when the president is has a positive review in the world? So they have advantages. They hope that they're gonna fall under this guy's umbrella and they will be helped, which they were. I know the judo federation was helped a lot by Putin, and any other sports like sambo and so on. So this is the only reason why this guy awarded, so they can give him something back. But now there are other people behind them. They're gonna say, like they say with the guy with the compose with the philharmonic, conductor. You do this, you gotta say this. Up, push the button, revoked it. Boom, Rolling Stones right there. President Putin stripped of his ninth degree black belt taekwondo. All right, that's the way it works. I like you now because I see I can profit. The other big guy comes here and smacks me. Okay, I don't like you anymore for now, at least. Okay, don't hit me. Don't hit me. Let me just go. We're gonna go through this. That's how it is. It's outrageous. I know I did Kyokushin karate, and the same thing did Masatatsu Oyama, the founder of Kyokushin. He gave Sean Connery. He gave King. What was his name? King of Spain. I can remember Carlos. I think it was Juan Carlos. He gave them like 5 dan or something, Shihan, and he never did shit. So you know how that things work. So again, Associated Press by Justin Spike, March 1st, 2022. Hungary's Orban faces pressure to cut close ties with Putin. Of course, he faces pressure. By whom? From whom? So I thought the countries are independent, aren't they? Why are you pressured? And by whom and how? Economically, military? What are those pressures? And they talk about the Russians' interference in the election of United States, and these guys pressure these guys. It's again out in the open. Out in the open. You need what? 3 minutes of memory to remember these things I just mentioned, or make like see how the things are just hypocritical. And now I would say a normal article. I don't hail this. I don't say yes or it comes from Market Watch. Ronald Sonny, maybe he was fired after this. March 1st, 2022, and the title is Ukraine invasion follows decades of warnings that NATO expansion into Eastern Europe could provoke Russia. There were warnings, verbal and so on. So this guy probably lost his job right now. Or if I look for him for tomorrow, it's gonna be detracted the article because this is what it was. Those guys told them back off, back off, back off. You're too close, and came to Ukraine, and now Ukraine is hit. They just played with Ukraine, and would play with Romania and with all this Poland. And Poland buys tanks and rockets and drones right now, billions of dollars from America. Okay, Buy it against whom? I mean, if the Russians won, they push a button and you're dead. And all the investments that you did is just, if that would be the case, if that's the craziness over there. But it's just a farce. If I look at this, it's just, let's go to the next one. Next one is, remember maybe a few days ago, 3 days ago, I told you that they started by talking about Putin and Hitler, like making a little bit of comparison. They're kind of like alike, but they couldn't. I told you in 5 days they will put them. Maybe after 2 days they will put the same guys, Hitler and Putin, in the same sentence. And they're gonna draw them near by the day. And now that's right there. They're in the same sentence. In the 5 days, I said maximum 5 days from when I first heard, the Hitler analogy. Now they're in the same sentence, and here it is. It's from the Columbus Dispatch, Randall Condra, February 28, 2022. So it's what is not today, so it's whatever, yesterday. It says, if you want it, take it. And other dictator lessons Putin learned from Hitler. There you go. So I told you, little by little, they're in the same uh, sentence. The next move is they say Putin is a second Hitler. I didn't see that yet, but maybe it's already there, but I didn't look for it. I'm pretty sure some people already did it, but I will let you know as soon as that counts, because I know how they are. This is the best way of knowing if you or someone else has the knowledge of another person, another state, by being able to anticipate their next moves in a given circumstance. So if you go to the marketplace and go to argue with some people, if I know you and the people, I can kind of tell you how you reacted in the past, what your mentality and how you would react there, and the other ones. And I could maybe with a certain certainty, tell you what's going to happen, predict the outcome. But let's say 90%. That's a sign that you kind of know what you're talking about. So when these things fulfill, it's not fulfilling your own prophecy or something. You say, "Oh, this is going to happen like that." That's my opinion, and it happens. And it happens consistently. I'm not saying perfectly. Then you can say, "I know what I'm talking about. Look at these guys." So next time when something happens, you can say, "Yeah, I think I know," because you look in the past and you see their patterns. You see how they behave, what kind of people they are. You analyze all that. I'm going to make a video regarding this kind of assessment and how you should trust your assessments based on past patterns and present current situations. Um, I was thinking about doing this, not doing this, but I will do this anyway. It's from Bazaar, uh, Chelsea Sanchez, February 28, 2022. And it says here, Duchess Meghan teams up with Anita Hill, I don't know who that is, to celebrate historic Supreme Court nomination. So a Supreme Court nomination is just because it's a female, black female, that happens to be a judge for a year experience as a judge. So she was a nomination, and whoever's going to pose that is going to be called a racist. So anyway, she does it. Now we should know that Meghan, she's not black, she's not white, she's mixed. Like former President Barack Obama, he was mixed, and he was raised by a white family because the black guy, the black side of his culture was gone, impregnated and gone. So he was raised by white people, and then he identified as black. As black, how do you call that? Thank you very much. And then he said, "I'm a black president." How are you black? Genetically, you're half, and then culturally, you were raised by white grandparents, not even the mom, because mom was not a very nice mom. So there you have it. And he is black. No, he's not black. He's mixed. He is biracial. That's the correct definition. And culturally, he decided to identify with the part of his mixed, the binary, that was not even in his life. The other side was in his life, supporting him and so on. So how do you call that? Uh, Thank you very much. All right. So the same with this Megan. She plays this card when she's actually, I know, mixed. Oh, and just so you know here, the last thing is the Dow from the Nasdaq.com. I got the stocks, and the stocks are this. The S&P 500 has declined about 10% in 2022, and Nasdaq has lost about 13%. Good, and the gold shut up, 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 up. All right, guys. Thank you for being with me today. See you maybe later. Be strong, smart, look for the truth, and be just. Ciao.